Ms. Fajon, in one of your panels, you mentioned that the key word when you describe the relationship between European Union and the Western Balkans is trust. But it seems like now the citizens of North Macedonia and Albania are losing trust in European Union, who has not delivered on its promises.
I am very concerned because European Union is losing its credibility, and of course people of the Western Balkans are using hope and vision. But the trust, I think, it's a key to start developing better relations and more confidence on all sides. I mean, certainly I understand the frustration of people in North Macedonia or even in Albania or today in Kosovo, because there were a lot of promises made, but countries are still waiting for the next step. So it's often we are witnessing egoism, selfishness, or political campaign elections in some of the member states that are jeopardizing the progress of the countries, and that has to stop. I think we are at a maybe last crucial moment on the crossroad how we go on, not only on the future of Europe, but also the future of the enlargement of the Western Balkans. If we are frank, the condition in the Balkans or in the European Union or with the enlargement is not good. So I hope sincerely that during this half of the year, when Slovenia took over the presidency, we'll do some significant steps, because after that, if we don't deliver what we promised, I think we lost maybe all the precious time that is still left.
Trust, credibility. Is there awareness in the European Union that it's losing its leverage, almost lost its leverage here in the Balkans?
I mean, European Union is going through several changes, or not changes, challenges, through different crises in the past. Enlargement was not very high on the agenda. If you would ask today European citizens or the governments, maybe we would all be surprised how do they feel about the enlargement. It's lack of trust, certainly, maybe also lack of commitment, even on the side of the Western Balkans. We really have to see the reforms when it comes to the rule of law, when it comes to democracy, fight against corruption, fight against organized crime, reforming public administration, freedom of media, and so on, all what are always criticism. And the governments in the Western Balkans, maybe in the absence of a strong European policy, didn't prove significant progress. I'm excluding here North Macedonia because it can be a bright example. We managed to achieve here with the government of Zaev an historical agreement, which was extremely difficult, politically sensitive, but it proved that big compromises or difficult compromises can be done if all sides are committed to make a step forward.
But why making compromises on very difficult issues like North Macedonia when there is no carrot at the end of the road? And let's say now we had the problem with Greece, now there is the issue with Bulgaria. What's your personal opinion about this new issue with Bulgaria, with Sofia, which looks like that one member state of the European Union is misusing the powers of the Union?
I'm very disappointed about the behavior of Bulgaria, about this egoism or selfishness is extremely wrong and irresponsible. And I do hope that we'll manage to convince Bulgaria what is at stake and really find a compromise and agreement. Because we cannot, because of national interests or gaining political points in the national environment, jeopardize the future of a neighboring country, which is happening today. So it is an important time ahead of us. Not everything has been lost. I don't want to be pessimistic, I am realist, but we have to fight further, because one thing for me is very clear. The Western Balkans has always been part of Europe, and it will always be. We share our continent and we share global challenges. So we need each other to fight that together, and we have to bring this continent strong and united together.
You mentioned Slovenian presidency. What can we expect in the next 6 months?
I'm glad to see that the Slovene government put Western Balkan as one of the priorities. I support the ambitious agenda, which would be the best possible outcome, and I hope with the help of 4 European partners we'll manage to open and start accession talks with North Macedonia and Albania, and also deliver what we promised 3 years ago, visa liberalization for Kosovo. Somehow to reconnect business, economies, people-to-people contacts, bring trust back, not only inside the region, but also in the institutions and in the European Union. I wish to see that the friends from the Western Balkans will be part of the discussion on the future of Europe. We are trying to achieve that in Brussels, in the European Parliament. This is a debate that is now ongoing with our civil society, with citizens, and it's a shame to see that the Western Balkan is not included. It's an opportunity that we really show we are all part of this continent. We should discuss together about our future.
There are some concerns about Slovenian presidency. On one hand, there is a declarative will for European values and enlargement, but on the other hand, there are a lot of concerns because of the illiberal tendencies of the government in Ljubljana.
I share those concerns because we receive nowadays a lot of criticism from Brussels, from foreign diplomats, from foreign media as regards the rule of law in Slovenia, as regards the freedom of media. It is a black cloud on the first day of Slovenian presidency. So we will have, the government will have to work very hard to repair the catastrophic year, if I say so, in relation to respect of European values. So I'm really critical to what our government is doing back in Slovenia, and being the presidency country, you have to respect the European values. So this is where I see worries, and I hope that we'll manage to repair this very catastrophic and bad year. Not appointing European prosecutors. We got criticism of political interference in the freedom of media and so on. And society is deeply polarized and also disappointed.
Thank you much.
Thank you.